Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? This is your man Corey G, your New York Uber driver, bringing you another video on becoming successful in the Uber business. Today's topic is going to be dealing with, for those people who are researching as far as how to become an Uber driver in New York City. Well, as you know from my previous videos, one of the things that you definitely do need is a TLC driver's license. Yes, a TLC driver's license. As you know, with some of the other boroughs, I should say, excuse me, some of the other states like New Jersey or Connecticut, you don't really need that requirement to have a TLC. That's the Taxi and Limousine Commission driver's license. Basically a taxi license, to put it for short. Those different states, Connecticut, Jersey, you don't really need it. My personal opinion, all of that's going to change very shortly. But to drive in New York State, you need a TLC license, whether it's from New York City's TLC, Westchester TLC, or Nassau County TLC, Suffolk County TLC. You do need a taxi and limousine license, driver's license. So here's how you can get a New York City TLC license, which I'm going to explain today. Well, first of all, what you need to do is change your New York State driver's license. The majority of the people who drive in New York State, or drivers in New York State, have D-class license. Yes, D-class. So if you have a D-class license, you're going to need to change that to at least an E-class license. E-class license is the license for taxis and chauffeurs. So that is definitely a requirement. Now, if you have one of those commercial New York State driver's license, the Class A, B, or C, then you're good. You don't have to worry about changing it over to a E-class. TLC recognizes A, B, and C classes as well. So you don't have to worry about that. But if you have a D-class, D-class is your regular average driver, like you and I. That license, well, you definitely need to change it to an E-class. Now, also going to talk about as far as with the price, how much all this is going to cost you. Because everyone needs to know how much this is going to cost me. Because unlike the other states, well, this is going to be an investment to you for your business. This is not something to get involved, getting your TLC license, if you're just really looking just to pay bills. Some are doing that, yeah, but you know what? The amount of money that you have to kick in to get yourself started here, you want to make this an investment as far as to build an actual transportation business. My recommendation, if you're just looking to just pay off bills and things like that, then I would suggest maybe driving in Jersey, driving in Connecticut, while they are still able to drive without that type of requirement. But getting back, so the changing that class over costs about, let me get my paperwork here, changing that over is going to cost about $40. So right off the bat, $40 you're definitely going to need. Also, you're also going to have to get a defensive driving training course. You have to take that. Those defensive driving that gives you so many different points off of your insurance and things like that, or taking off points off of if you have, let's say, points on your driver's license, it helps take those points off. Well, you have to get a defensive driving course, and you have to have to get a real one, certified, not a copy, to get that done. So you can go to any driving school that's offered defensive driving course, do that, or you can go online. There are some real good ones out there that you can take the course online. You get a printed copy of your certificate. It won't be the actual one, so you can't use that with TLC. But the company will send you an actual certificate with the official defensive driving course stamp and all that other type of jazz. And that's the one that you need to take with you when you get your paperwork processed through TLC. And that's going to cost you about $50 for the defensive driving course. The ones online I know is $50. Now the ones in the actual, let's say, driving schools, I'm not quite sure, but it should be about $50. But the ones online is $50. So okay, so we're talking about $40 and $50 so far. Next, the application fee. Yes, you're gonna have to pay for the application fee as well. I know some of your priorities saying ching 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 because you're thinking that, wow, this is starting to add up. It is going to be, it's not as bad as you think, but it is going to cost you. So the application fee is going to cost you $84. So that's $40, $50, and now $84. And we're not done yet. Next, you have to get your fingerprinting. Yes, they do a background check. You may say, wait a second, Uber already does a background check. Yes, but TLC also do an extensive background check as far as any type of criminal stuff that you may have. To be able to drive in New York City, you have to have a clean record. So if your record is kind of iffy, then you may want to hold off as far as getting all this done. You don't want to waste all this money, and then you know that you had some type of felony in the background, and that pops up, and you don't get the license, and you spend all this money for nothing. So you want to make sure to have to get the fingerprinting done. That's going to cost $75. Next, yes, there's one more. Drug test. Yes, the drug test, you have to take a drug test. In fact, this drug test is yearly that you have to take a drug test. So, guys, gals, anyone who's watching this video and you tend to use certain type of pharmaceuticals, you may want to stop. As simple as that. You just want to stop if you want to pass this drug test. That drug test is going to cost you $26 annually. So all in total, it's going to run you about $275 to get your driver's license. Yes, to get your driver's license. So those are the prices that you need. Now, we're also going to talk about as far as the process that needs to get done. Okay, we already talked about the fingerprinting that needs to get done, the drug test, the application fee. Also, you have to go onto the TLC website to their sex trafficking awareness training video. That is a must to look at to be able to get your driver's license. So you need to go on to New York City, www.nyc.gov/TLC. So that's Taxi and Limousine Commission. And then navigate, and it's there. It's just difficult to navigate. The TLC website is so weird to navigate, but you'll be able to find it. Just takes a little effort, but you'll be able to find it. And you have to take the the sex trafficking awareness video. You have to be aware of sex traffickers using your service and how to report these individuals. And so you have to take that, and that's a must prior to submitting the application, which is very important. Okay, so you can't submit the application without taking a look at that video. That is a must. Also, here are some additional requirements that is also needed here. Your DMV driver's license, and this is the time now to make sure everything is correct, because when you go to the TLC office, first of all, bring snacks, okay? Because bring a Snickers, because you're going to be there for a while, okay? Because the line is always long. So, bring some snacks, and you'll be sitting waiting for your number and stuff like that. And you know how it goes. It's just like DMV. So, some of the things that you definitely need to do: your driver's license and your social security card have to match. And what I mean by matching is, let's just say, for instance, your name is John Smith on your driver's license, but your social security card says John M. Smith. Guess what? TLC will not accept your application. Yes. So if you have any middle name, your spelling has to be correct on both your driver's license and your social security card. This is extremely important. If it doesn't match, they're not going to accept it. So if it doesn't match now and you have to switch that over from a D class to an E class, that is the time now to make sure your driver's license matches up with your social security card, which is extremely important. Also, this here is kind of new. You have to fill out a medical exam requirement by your doctor. There's a form online at TLC where your doctor has to clear you that you are physically fit to be able to drive in New York City. Yeah, this is something new. Before, the for-hire vehicles drivers didn't have to have this, but now they do. So this is kind of new. So you want to make sure to actually have that form also filled out as well. Let's see. Also, I mentioned about the defensive driving course that you have to take. Make sure that is spelled correctly with your driver's license and your social security card as well too. If it doesn't, they are not going to accept it. So once you actually have all these documents ready, you give them all original documents. Don't give them any copies. Okay. You do have to submit. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. You do have to submit a with the original a copy of your driver's license. They want a color copy, so you get that done. You submit that with it, but you still have to give them your driver's license. Why you have to do that? And you're giving them the original anyway? I don't know, but you need to have that together as well. So once you have all these documents together, you go to you go to TLC, you present all the documents, they make copies, they make you pay all this money, pretty much all at the same time, with the exception of, with the exception of DMV, because you know you got to pay DMV at DMV, and the defensive driving, well, you know, you have to pay the defensive driving course at the defensive driving class or online. When you also get these items done, make sure you get receipts for everything. Like I said before, you're building a business, so you want to have all these documents together, because remember, all of this stuff is you can claim at the end of the year when you file your taxes. So when you get all that done, you pass the drug test, you wind up getting your New York City TLC for-hire vehicle. That's the FHV driver's license. Once you have that, you're on your way and be able to drive for Uber. Actually, at that point, if you just want to rent a vehicle or temporary lease a vehicle, once you have that driver's license, you're good to go. You can automatically go and get that rented, and you be on your way in days after you receive that driver's license. And that license will come to you in the mail in about 2 to 3 weeks once everything is done and complete. They usually get the drug test done very quickly, so unless you pop positive. So, you know, once again, be careful. So that's basically it for this video. You'll see upcoming videos soon as far as the documents that is needed for registering a vehicle for TLC. That is another long process, and that takes a lot more money. Okay, but to get yourself started, well, these are the things that you need to get done. This is Corey G, your New York Uber driver. and I see you in the next video.